my peeps, what up, what up, what up? I'm going to tell you what's up. You will not believe the new happenings with Chrisean Junior, honey. Looks like CPS nabbed that little boy because the godmother, Marsh, who is supposed to be taking care of him, don't have a permanent residence. How are you going to want to take care of a child and you bouncing from hotel to hotel? This is word on the street, folks. I don't know for sure, so it's alleged. But this is the grapevine. You know, black people's grapevine. Somebody says something, it goes down the line, and by the time it gets to you, it's a different story. So I don't know if it's the actual fact, but they say that Marsh don't have a permanent place, and she has dropped the ball on really taking care of Junior because she had all the people changing the Pampers on live. So folks are saying, how can she take Junior knowing that she don't have a permanent place? The better question is, how can the mama allow this woman, Marsh, to take Junior knowing that she don't have a permanent place? Chrisean is a little slow, I think. You know, once CPS steps in, things starts rolling quickly. So word on the street is a hearing is coming up to determine where that little boy is going to be, who is going to take care of him temporarily. Guess what? It looks like, Carlessa, you it. Because, guys, if you think about it, who is the better person? Now, we know Grandpa don't want to babysit. That's what he called this, babysitting. And he done babysitting, okay? He's out of the picture, in other words. Marsh don't have a stable environment, so she's out because CPS looks for that. That's like the first thing. Do you have a home? Do you have a stable environment for this child? And Marsh is out. So, being that Marsh is not family, Blueface mama is family, but that's on the man's side of the family. So I'm wondering, what about her sisters? Didn't she come from a family of 12? Chrisean Rock got a whole bunch of sisters. How come none of them have stepped up to the plate to take this child? That's what I want to know. Things that make you go, Could it be that their environment is not so stable also? I don't know. But I'm just saying, how come none of them stepped up to the plate? And how come Chrisean didn't even think about one of them to leave her child with, and they're supposed to be kinfolk? I'm sure the court got a win of both parents being in jail. They already know. You know, they ain't got a win of nothing. Let's call the spade a spade. They already knew that when Chrisean got arrested at Blueface hearing, both parents were locked up at that point. And there was a baby involved in the lobby. Grandparents trying to decide who would get the grandbaby, and nobody wanted the grandbaby from what I saw. But really, legally, when both parents are incarcerated, CPS got to get involved and determine a temporary place for that child. And usually it's a family member like a grandparent. CPS looks for a couple of things. One, do you have a stable environment? You got a roof over your head? Can you take care of this child? Do you have a current CPS record? They look for stuff like that. And they look for, is this home a safe place? They're looking for drug paraphernalia. They're looking for anything that will make that home unsafe for the child. So it's a lot of things they look for. And by the look of things, that is ruling a whole lot of people out, okay? That's ruling a whole lot of family members out. Maybe that's why they haven't stepped up to the plate. They know what time of day it is. So I'm thinking Chrisean Rock might be a tad bit slow. Forgive me for saying it, Chrisean and her fans. Y'all don't come for me, okay? I'm just calling it like I see it. You got to be hello slow to leave your baby that you claim you love so much with somebody who don't have a stable environment, who on the boob tube with you drinking and smoking and all kinds of stuff y'all be doing, cussing like there's no tomorrow like a sailor. Needs soap to wash that child's mouth out. Don't have, from what I see, meaningful employment because Chrisean was paying her to babysit $1,000 for every what? For every hour or so? If you got all that time to babysit somebody else's child, what time you got to go to work? You working? You got meaningful employment? I want to know. Nobody else want to know, but I want to know, Miss Marsh. You taking care of Chrisean Junior? And you don't have all your ducks in a row? You knew CPS was coming sooner or later to knock on them doors wherever you are, whatever doors you're staying at. And don't forget, guys, she was staying with Chrisean at one point with her kids. So that lets me know this young woman don't have a stable environment. What is wrong with Chrisean, y'all? Tell me. What is wrong with Chrisean? And let me tell you something. When she hears the news that CPS has taken that child, she's going to be hooping and hollering and instead of saying, well, maybe Clarissa would be the right person and the only person because she can provide all those things. Oh, no. She's not going to be saying that. I can tell you that right now. She's going to be saying, oh, that witch, that woman, I don't want my child to be with her. Instead of her looking at a broader picture to see that the child is safer in a better environment. Apparently, and I think some of you already know, when both parents are incarcerated, it becomes mandatory for CPS to step in and do a report. And especially if that judge knows that both parents are in jail, you know that judge made recommendations for CPS to go and check out that home with that baby, wherever Marsh was. So when they went to that home where Marsh is at, I'm sure they made their assessment and determined that it wasn't the best environment for the child. But all in all, I think the best place right now for Junior is with his grandma. Nobody's going to watch him and take care of him like that grandma Clarissa because she's very fancy. She's a fancy lady. Looks like if she's clean. Look like if she's caring. Well, you know, she's got her ways, but I'm gonna give it to her. She's caring enough because she already said, look, we don't do that over here. We take care of our own, okay? And she was upset when people were calling her out. You guys remember when Chrisean got arrested, she was very upset that people were saying that she didn't want Junior. She said she would have gladly taken him home had she gotten the word from Blueface, and she was trying to get Marsh to go in the courtroom so she can ask the judge to ask Blueface if it's okay for her to take the child. So we know she's ready, willing, and able to take her grandson. So word on the street about Marsh is that she's got her own DCF case, her own case going on with her child or children when it comes to DCF. And she does not have a stable environment because she lives in and out of hotels and stays with Chrisean from time to time. Allegedly. This is all alleged because I haven't seen it with my own two eyes, so it's alleged. But Chrisean is in jail now, so Marsh can be in Blueface's house because we know how Blueface feel about Marsh. So it looks like if Marsh is ruled out from every angle. The DCF case, the fact that she doesn't have, from what I gather, a steady income, allegedly, a home, because if you're in and out of hotels, you don't have a steady home. So all those things rule Marsh out. She's not a viable candidate. So the best person, well, she has stepped up to the plate. Nobody else is stepping up, and that is Clarissa. But what I'm afraid of, if CPS get a wind of all the antics that Chrisean was up to, all this fighting and doing drugs and, well, allegedly, I gotta say allegedly now, smoking and drinking while she was carrying this child, she might just well lose that child. By the time she gets out, that child may not be in her possession. We're gonna see.
That's why I asked the young lady, I said, before you take the baby, can we at least go into the courtroom and ask the judge if we could talk to Blue to see if what he wanted to do. If he said it was okay for her to take the baby or give the baby to me, at least, you know, a law official would have saw that, and I would have definitely did whatever my son asked me to do. I'm pretty sure he probably would have wanted me to take the baby. Even though we still, you know, not on good terms, I feel like he still would have wanted me to.
I tend to agree. He would have wanted his mama to take that child. And like she said, they're not on good terms. So he would have wanted that. But Chrisean, on the other hand, did leave strict instructions for Marsh to take the baby. That's why I'm saying she's slow. You can't hate the grandparents to the point where you're not going to leave your child in good hands. I have seen it time and time again where grandparents don't get along with their daughter-in-laws. But if push come to shove, They know what time of day it is. They know that child will be in better care with that grandparent who hates their guts but love the child. But you don't bypass the grandmother who is willing to take the child and go straight to your best friend who is unstable in every way. Since it's Chrisean's first time having a child, I would think that maybe she didn't know that DCF was going to check the background of Marsh. She didn't factor that in because she didn't think she was going to get arrested. Remember, she said she wasn't going to give herself up because she's too busy raising a child. But she didn't think she was going to get arrested when she went to the courthouse for Blueface hearing. But she did leave strict instructions. If anything happens to her, Marsh will take care of the baby. Being that it's her first child, she don't know that CPS has very strict rules about children being left with people who don't have all the required criteria. She can lose that child that easy. If, let's say, Clarissa said, I'm not taking the baby, that child will go into foster care. And if they got a win of all the drinking and all the smoking that this child was doing while she was pregnant, I'm talking about Chrisean, she will lose that child permanently. On that note, guys, I'm over and now. Drop your comments. Don't forget to hit the like bell. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. And put on your notification bells so you can be notified when I drop the next video. Thank you for watching.